I think the best way to sum up this trip is with an Instagram reel. Needless to say, mistakes were made. Let's get into it. Pittsburgh on the Montour Trail, all the way to Cumberland, Maryland. We're starting this morning. Hopefully, it goes well. So, right off the bat, I'm going to call this trip a bit of a failure of planning and preparation, and a bit of naivety regarding how far I could push myself in 90-degree heat with close to 100% humidity. Doing this trip mid August was just not ideal. First, let's talk food prep. I packed two types of bars, some dried strawberries, Cheez Its for something salty, and of course, Sour Patch Kids when you just get sick of too much sweet. I also tried to make these peanut butter raisin and honey wraps, and yeah, these weren't good at all. They weighed a ton, and I ended up eating half of one of them and then just throwing the other two away. I think part of it was the heat. The entire first day, I had to force myself to eat anything at all. I can't stress this enough. You need to have sodium tablets, Gatorade, or something of the sort on hot rides like this. I had a camelback filled with water, and I drank so much that I became waterlogged. I got to the point where water was making me sick. A little bit of a spoiler alert, but once we made it to West Newton, I was on the phone with my dad just talking about the ride, and he told me a couple of times that I just really wasn't making sense and that I probably needed to find some Gatorade. So it was kind of a scary situation, but we persevered. So here we're about an hour in, pushing about 12 miles, and my heart rate's at 170. I'm putting out 350 watts. It was just kind of a rough time. This was kind of what the entire day turned out to be like. I'll throw up a little graph here that shows my time and my heart rate zones, and it was 3.5 hours in threshold for me throughout the course of the day, which ended up just burning me out trying to keep up with Greg, who was in much better shape than me. Which is not to say that I didn't have fun. I look back on this ride with really fond memories. I made a lot of mistakes, but it's important to learn from the mistakes. And here's a shot of me smiling like an idiot. The important thing to note here is that sometimes you just have to get out there and do it and just make mistakes, learn from them, and push on to the next adventure. If I hadn't made all the errors with hydration and eating and just dealing with the heat on this ride, I wouldn't have known what to do on future rides. And, all in all, everything that went wrong here ended up making me stronger for the next ride to come. So, fair warning for some of the clips to come. There's a decent amount of wind noise. I hope to fix that in one of the future videos. I ordered a cover for my GoPro to hopefully handle some of that and reduce it a bit. So, I'll shut up for a little while and let you enjoy this scenery. So we ended this first day around 69 miles with 1,800 feet of elevation. It took us 6 hours of moving time. I burned a crazy 3,100 calories and barely ate anything the entire day. There were several points during the day where we would stop at one of the water fountains and just completely douse ourselves in water just to try to cool off a little bit, but nothing really helped. We finally pulled in at West Newton right around 6 p.m. And the bright morning bed and breakfast was amazing. It was one of the nicest places I stayed at. There are these 4 row houses. There's nice furniture inside. It was nice and cool. And the breakfast the next day was incredible. Just overall, highly recommended. If you were riding the Gap, I would 100% stay here every single time.
Day 2 is so much better than day 1. 90-degree heat yesterday. Ooh, this is so much better.
One eternity later.
Day 2 of the Pittsburgh to Cumberland trip. We did all of the Montour connecting to the Gap yesterday. It was 70-ish miles in like 90-degree heat. We actually got so dehydrated at one point that, yeah, I almost felt like I was going to pass out and fall off the bike a couple of times. It was just so hot. Yeah, it was a little scary. I was having like cold chills in the 90-degree heat. It was a little terrifying. Couldn't catch my breath. By the time we finally pulled into West Newton, we stopped and got smash burgers and french fries, and we like physically see the salt on the french fries, but I couldn't taste anything. I think we were so sodium deficient that we just couldn't taste the salt, and we didn't even feel like eating. It was actually like nauseating to eat, even though we hadn't really eaten all day. It was definitely rough. Today was better. It was only 51 miles. It was a little cooler in the morning. We stopped in Ohio Pile and got a sandwich. So we're in Confluence now. Tomorrow is 62 miles. We go up Myersdale, probably gonna stop and get lunch there, and then it should be 25 miles downhill to Cumberland, and that'll be the end of it. So it'll be 190-ish miles for the trip.
Whew, I think I got a little bit sunburned. So 16 miles in, and I think not having a real breakfast this morning is really starting to take its toll. I'm getting a little shaky. The B&B we stayed at last night was cozy, but there was no air conditioning, and it's like 100% humidity right now. It's been in the high 80s every day, except for the first day it was in the 90s. And then for breakfast this morning, it was just a really dry muffin, some stale cereal, and it just really wasn't enough. I'm really feeling it. Now, I think I'm 3 miles out from Rockwood. I know there's a Dollar General there. I don't know what else. I hope there's a Sheetz. I could go for like a breakfast sandwich really badly. It's been a rough couple days. Doing this in August was not the best of ideas. Yeah, you think you're in pretty good performance condition, but that heat and humidity just saps all the strength out of you. What are you gonna do? I'm still pretty new at this. I've only been riding my bike since last April, so a year and a half. On we go. Morning. It's dark. Well, I know you don't want to listen to me huff and puff with the camera in my mouth for the next several minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about the elevation profile on the Greater Allegheny Passage if you've never ridden it before. Pretty much from Connellsville all the way to the Continental Divide is just a gradual uphill that goes on for something like 60 miles. It maxes out around 2%, maybe 2.5%, but you feel it the entire time you're riding. And if you do that all in one go, you're just pedaling nonstop for hours without a break. And it does wear on you after a while, but once you get to the top, the downhill, as you'll see later in the video, is pretty awesome. It's 20 miles long, and without pedaling, you're going like 14, 15 miles an hour. It's just a blast, and it feels like a massive reward whenever you finish doing that long ascent. So, 9:25 a.m. on the first day, or on the last day. I got about 4.5 hours of sleep last night. I just did not sleep well at all. I was just tossing and turning. I couldn't turn my brain off. Even the camera lens is fogging up. It's 100% humidity today. I cannot wait for the downhill into Cumberland. Oh, I'm drenched in sweat, bro. Holy crap. I can't believe how freaking humid it is. Maybe I should talk to the camera and not my hand. Okay. Oh, we're almost to Myersdale and pizza. I want some pizza. Yeah, I'm not the best cameraman, but you know, it's okay. We're tired. We're like 150 miles in. It's been a long couple of days. Look, a cemetery. That's where I kind of belong right now. Look how gorgeous this is, though. My goodness. Like I said, this downhill was just incredible. We had done it once before back in May whenever we went all the way to DC, but it was a pretty rainy, dreary day. Today was just gorgeous, and it was so much fun after how difficult the entire ride was with the heat and getting extremely dehydrated. Just to be able to fly down this hill at the end was worth every second. We finished the day, almost 62 miles, 5 hours of moving time. But man, was it just a blast, and I'll never forget doing this trip. I'm actually going to be doing it again in October of 2024, and I'll be doing it backwards from Cumberland to Pittsburgh, and I'm just looking forward to it. So thank you for watching, and I hope you stick around for more videos that'll be coming out soon. Leave a like and a comment, and don't forget to subscribe.